Hi, my name is Brian Shar. The date is 4/19/2026, and this is a free idea given to Raw Papers. Today's date, 5:26 p.m., Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm going to use Grok to record, so everybody knows that I gave it to Josh first. So, waiting for this sucker to load up. I'm also doing this to keep myself in a good mood and not think about them not legalizing cannabis and the whole thing with Ibogaine and how it reacts after the year 2. According to Grok, it's only 9% that stay off of opiates. And I have an opiate story over on my YouTube. It's 5 hours long and crazy as fuck. All right. I'll be making it into a book later on. Grok, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
So I'm giving out a free idea, not my paper idea, but a different idea. Do you have our conversation about my paper idea?
No, I don't have any past convo about a paper idea saved. All I see is old stuff about turning your words into songs. Want to fill me in on what the paper idea was?
That's one of the opiates. I gotta put a label on this sucker because this sucker is really good. So I came up with an idea for a paper. I went over it with Grok. It's on my YouTube. But I see the passion that Josh has. And there's a lot of people that don't hear that. Oh, yeah, that's the one we got to say. All right, now, what the fuck do I do now? That's the right one. This is okay. We'll just add to this. Grok, can you add a title to this chat?
Sure, I can do that. What's the title you want for this chat?
Raw Ideas.
Done. The chat is now titled Raw Ideas.
Now we're still conversating about the paper and me keeping my mouth shut for 2-3 years. Apply for the the $70 trademark the $70 patent, right?
Got it. You're saying after all this, you're still thinking about that paper you had, keeping your mouth shut for 2 or 3 years, then filing for the $70 patent. Is that the thing you want to circle back to now?
What is the patent called again?
It's called a provisional patent application. That's the $70 one you're thinking of. It's the cheap, quick way to get patent pending status without filing the full utility patent yet.
And I still can't give out that idea for 2 to 3 years, correct?
Correct. You can still keep your mouth shut for the next 2 to 3 years, and then file the $70 provisional patent. Nobody can take the idea from you in that time, as long as you don't publicly disclose it. The clock hasn't started yet because you haven't told anyone the actual details.
Okay,
so I
have another idea, and it's basically like a nostalgia thing that would add history and value, or more like history and value. Could I give that one out for free? I don't mind losing or not getting any money, even though I'm poor. I don't mind.
Yeah, you can give that one away for free. Since you said it's not your core idea, It's more of a nostalgia, history, value add thing. You're totally safe to release it publicly. Here's the clean way to do it. Just put it out there, post it, share the concept, whatever you want. Because it's not your main protected idea. Putting this one out won't hurt your bigger patent plans. You can use it as a freebie to build interest, or just because you think it's cool. Want me to help you word it nicely so you can post it somewhere?
Yeah, but first I want to know if you know the passion behind Raw Papers. Do you understand Josh's passion?
No, I don't. I don't know who Joshua is, and I don't know what Raw Papers are or what his passion is behind them. You're gonna have to explain it to me.
Well, look up Raw Papers once.
Yeah, now I got it. Raw Rolling Papers was created by Josh Kesselman back in the mid-90s. His whole passion was making the most natural, unbleached, additive-free rolling paper possible. No chemicals, no bleach, just pure plant fiber with a little natural gum. He wanted it to burn clean and slow, like something real and authentic, instead of the white bleach stuff everyone else was using. His whole vibe is give it to you raw, keeping things honest, natural, and true to the culture. That's why the papers are that signature brown translucent color, and why people are so loyal to the brand. I see the connection now to what you're talking about with your paper idea. You still want to release that nostalgia, history, value add idea for free? Or you want to tweak how you present it now that we're on the same page?
You understand like a book of papers on how it's string tied and how it opens up and how the leaves are connected to one another so they pull out and the other one comes forward?
Got it. Now I understand exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the Raw Classic string-tied booklet, how the papers are all connected together with that little string, so when you pull one out, the whole pack opens up and the others fan out like a little accordion.
No,
That signature raw way the
no, just the leaf part. When you open up the booklet and you pull up the leaf, the other one pulls out so you can pull that one next. Do you understand?
Got it. Now I understand exactly what you mean. You're talking about the way the actual rolling papers, the leaves, are connected inside the booklet. So when you pull one paper out, the next one automatically comes out right behind it, like they're linked together. It's that smooth, continuous pull where each paper feeds the next one. That's the specific feature you're talking about. I got it now.
So if possible that it wouldn't screw up that mechanism of doing that, insert another sheet that's not a rolling paper, but a fact about Raw Papers.
Got it. You want to keep that same connected mechanism where pulling out one paper automatically pulls the next one, but you want to insert a different kind of sheet in between them. Not another rolling paper, but a little fact sheet or historical note about Raw Papers. Like every 5th or 10th paper in the booklet would actually be a fun fact or piece of history instead of a rolling paper. The question is, can you do that without breaking the pull-out mechanism? My honest answer, it's possible, but it's tricky. The reason the papers pull nicely is because every sheet is exactly the same thickness and glued in exactly the same way. If you insert a thicker or differently textured fact sheet, it can cause the booklet to bind up or tear when someone pulls. Would you want me to show you a way to do it that has the best chance of still working smoothly?
Sure, go ahead.
Here's the cleanest way to do it without messing up the pull mechanism. Use a super thin paper for your fact sheets. Something close to the same weight as
I want to do it differently. How about this? We keep the booklets just the way they are, so there's no mechanism of having to change it. They're still the same. Just another booklet gets glued to the backside, like with that non-glue stuff or whatever. They make a natural one because that's the way Josh would want it.
Got it. That's a much smarter way. You want to keep the original Raw booklet completely untouched. Same string, same pull mechanism, everything exactly as it is. Then you simply glue a second booklet to the back of it. This second booklet would be all the fact sheet's history pages. You're basically making a 2-in-1 pack. One side is the normal rolling papers, the back side is the history nostalgia booklet. And you want to use some kind of natural, non-toxic glue or adhesive to stick the two booklets together.
Yeah,
That's
but like
actually
one,
really
but
cool.
like the ones that doesn't, it just kind of rolls off. It's like the same kind of, like a rubberized that they use to hold the aluminum foil on the roll.
Got it. You want the two booklets to stick together, but not permanently, just lightly, like the way the little rubberized strip holds the aluminum foil roll closed. So you can pull the history booklet off cleanly whenever you want, without damaging either booklet. That's actually a really good call.
Like
Here's what
it
we
would
want
have
for
to
that.
be, it would have to be a way where, because I don't know if there's a barcode on the back of it. So it may have to be put in front of it with the same logo of the actual paper of what the dimensions are and all that in front of it. So it still says looking the same way. It just has another book attached to it. And I'm thinking maybe, I don't know how many you could fit in there, but I want it to be kind of like baseball cards, but baseball cards for stoners.
Got it. Now I see your full vision. You want to keep the exact same front cover and branding so it still looks like a normal pack of raw papers on the shelf. But attached to it, probably on the back or as a second layer, is a mini booklet filled with collectible stoner baseball cards. Little fact cards about Raw's history, different strains, rolling techniques, old school rolling paper brands, etc. Like a built-in trading card set inside every pack. That's actually a pretty cool nostalgia collectible idea.
Okay, so we're doing that at the low cost. He could probably run it on one of those machines that does that fake paper in the beginning of the pack, the one you don't smoke. I'm thinking he could run it on that machine and make a booklet based on just that thickness of paper, which would last longer and people could frame them.
Got it. That's actually a really smart observation. You're saying, instead of making a whole separate booklet, just use the exact same thin paper that Raw already uses for that first "don't smoke this paper" at the beginning of the pack. Run the fact cards on that same super thin paper on the same machines they already have. That keeps the cost almost zero and the thickness almost identical. And because it's the same paper stock.
No, hopefully it's thicker. I'm pretty sure, like, it's been a while since I bought a pack of Raw, but usually that paper is usually thicker that protects the rest of the leaves from moisture or dust.
Got it. Now I understand what you're saying. You're talking about the first protective sheet in the pack of Raw, the thicker, stiffer paper that sits at the very front or back to protect the actual rolling papers from getting crushed or damaged. It's noticeably thicker than the rolling papers themselves. You want your fact cards made on that thicker stock instead of the thin rolling paper.
Yeah, because this way he could just do it low cost to see if people like it and enjoy it. And then later on, he could put out Raw Facts, it's going to be called. Raw Facts, the same size of an actual baseball card with actual graphics on the front of it and facts on the back.
Perfect. Now I see the full plan. You're starting super low cost and smart. Phase 1 test. Use the existing thicker protective paper they already run on the machines. Print simple facts on it. Glue a small booklet of these cards to the back of the regular Raw pack. Almost zero extra cost. Phase 2. Real product. Launch Raw Facts as its own separate product. Full baseball card size. Nice graphics on the front. Facts on the back. Sold as a collector's item. That's actually a really solid, low-risk way to test the idea.
And to get an actual market to see if people really want it, he could also sell small little tiny frames on his website out of raw wood, because it's raw, but like raw wood and real glass, so people can take those sheets, take care of them, and put them in these little tiny glass frames. Maybe put magnets on the back of it and a little tiny swivel so people could swivel it and put it on their desk maybe. Maybe put a hole on the side of it so someone wants to put it on their wall for their pool room. It could definitely show that there's a want for it.
That's actually a really sharp idea. You're not just testing if people like the cards, you're testing if they're willing to display them. Selling tiny raw wood frames with real glass on the website is a perfect way to measure real demand. Here's my honest take. The frames are a great idea, but I would do it the opposite way. Don't sell the frames at first. Just release the cards in the packs and on the website. Then watch what people do. If people start posting pictures of the cards taped to their wall, framed, or in cases, then you know the demand is real. Then you launch the frames as the next product. Selling frames too early might make it look like you're forcing the collectible part.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm just trying to think of the best way so no one's like trying to like, you know, if it gets real popular, like people are trying to steal tax or whatever. So I'm thinking both those papers should be wrapped, because I see his box on there for his box set. I think they should be wrapped so they can't be taken apart, like wrapped in like a Mylar sheeting with the logo of Raw on there and the little thing of Raw Facts limited edition. So no one can actually take those packs off and just be like, well, they're just regular raw papers now.
Got it. That's actually a good concern. Here's the cleanest way to do it. Make the raw facts cards come in their own completely separate pack.
Well, yeah, I understand that. That's later on down the road. But I'm just saying this small little sheet of facts just to see if people enjoy it. I would put it the actual raw papers and those little fact sheets, because it's a limited edition, your raw paper with raw facts, but have that in a cellophane so they can't steal the raw facts out and just leave the papers and throw them back on their shelf, and the guy can just sit there and hoard them because people are paying whatever X amount of dollars if it becomes like a collectible thing, just in case.
Okay, here's the clean way to do it. Keep the regular raw rolling paper booklet exactly as it is. Take your thin fact sheets and make a very small 4-6 page mini booklet out of them. Then put both the rolling papers and the fact booklet together inside one clear cellophane wrapper with a Raw Facts limited edition sticker on it. That way, the customer has to buy the whole thing to get the facts. No one can rip the facts out and leave the papers on the shelf. It still looks like a normal pack on the shelf until they look closer. You good with that approach for the test version?
Well, yeah, but it should have the Raw logo and then limited edition with raw facts. That's like the marketing part, raw facts, like giving it to you raw. The truth, giving it to you raw.
Got it. So the packaging line would be something like raw papers, limited edition raw facts. And the tagline plays off the brand, giving it to you raw, the truth. That's actually clean. You want me to write up a short description of the whole idea? The test version with the cellophane wrap, the limited edition branding, and the collectible fact cards, so you can read it back and see how it sounds?
No, because I'm thinking of like booster packs too, because like later on, let's say, you know, there's cannabis artists in the world, so maybe later on they could do like a 50 or 100, 200 search for all these like elaborate cards to put a bigger picture together. Think Garbage Pail Kids, where you had to put cards together to make a bigger picture.
I see exactly where you're going now. You want to take it to the next level, like Garbage Pail Kids or old school trading cards, where certain cards connect to form a bigger picture when you collect them all. So the idea evolves like this. Series 1, test. Simple fact cards inside raw packs. Later series, full raw facts booster packs. Some cards are puzzle cards. When you collect 4 or 6 of them, they line up to create one big image.
No, bigger than that. Something bigger than that. Something like, you know, let's say 2 feet by 2 feet. Something decent for the wall.
Got it. Now I see the real vision. You're thinking much bigger. You want the cards to connect into a large wall piece, something like a 2 feet by 2 feet poster or artwork that you build by collecting multiple cards.
Let's do 4 feet by 4 feet, because that's what I got on my wall, and it looks nice.
Got it. 4 feet by 4 feet. That's a solid size for a wall piece.
How much does that come up? How many cards is that in baseball dimensions of regular like Topps playing cards?
Here's the math. A standard baseball card top size is about 2.5 inches times 3.5 inches. For a 4 feet by 4 feet display, 48 by 48, you'd need roughly 276 cards to fill a 4 by 4 foot space with almost no gaps. That's a lot of cards. If you made it a 6 times 6 grid of cards with some spacing, you'd still need around 220 to 240 cards. That's a huge set. Real talk. Collecting 250 plus cards for one poster is too many for most people.
Let's think. Bigger. Wait, you need to rethink your logic. People smoke cannabis. They need more papers. Yes or no?
Yes, that's actually a fair point. Since people who smoke cannabis go through a lot of rolling papers, they're naturally buying multiple packs per month. So even if one full 4x4 set takes 200 plus cards, a serious collector would still be able to complete it over time, just by smoking normally. That makes more sense than I first thought. So the real question becomes, do you still want to go with a huge 4 foot by 4 foot display, which would take a couple hundred cards?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be raw. And it could be the raw logo. It could be a picture of a cannabis strain. It could be an up-close artist that shows trichromes. People would love that.
Yeah, that's actually dope. So now we have a clear vision. You release raw facts as these collectible cards.
Wait. Let's get serious about it. Like these prints could be printed with gold inlay, chrome inlay. It would be a remarkable looking picture if it was done with high resolution, yes or no?
Yes. If you print them with gold or chrome inlay on high resolution stock, it would look remarkably good. A 4x4 foot image made from hundreds of small cards, each one having metallic gold or chrome details, would catch light beautifully. It would look expensive and premium as hell when it's all put together on the wall. That part is actually fire. But I gotta be straight with you on the serious part. Having hundreds of different cards with metallic printing is going to be very expensive to produce. Even if people buy a lot of papers.
You need to look up the word heady, because people would be willing to pay for this just for the simple fact that if people are going to take time and effort to collect them and put them in nice frames, they're going to have a high resale value.
All right, let's get real. Yes, collectors will pay good money for rare cards, especially if they're metallic, high quality, and limited. But here's the truth. Even if people are willing to pay, you still have to print them first. If every card has gold or chrome inlay, the printing cost is going to be high. You're not just printing paper anymore.
What kind of quality does this Pokemon have?
Good question. Pokemon cards have 3 main levels of quality: common, uncommon, basic paper, normal printing, no special effects. Rare, hollow. They use foil stamping, a thin metallic layer on the picture so it shines and changes color when you tilt it. Secret rare, ultra rare. Higher quality cardstock, sometimes with textured or embossed surfaces, and much more expensive foil. Raw facts would probably sit somewhere between normal cards and hollow cards. If you want that premium wow feel that Pokemon has, you'd want at least some of your cards to have that shiny foil effect. Not full gold inlay on every card, but nice metallic foil on the chase cards. That's the realistic sweet spot. Does that make sense for what you're trying to do?
Yeah, somewhat, but I mean, overall, how well does Pokemon do for the card industry?
Pokemon does it extremely well. The card image quality on Pokemon is actually top tier in the trading card world. Here's the honest breakdown.
No. Give me what their annual sales is per year.
They don't publicly break out the exact dollar amount for just the physical TCG. The Pokemon Company only gives production numbers, not revenue for the cards alone. Here's what we do know from their latest reports. In fiscal year 2024-2025, they produced over 10 billion physical Pokemon cards. Lifetime total is now over 75 billion cards produced. The entire Pokemon franchise, games, plus cards, plus merch, plus everything, does several $billion a year. But the physical card game itself is a massive part of that. It's one of the biggest trading card games in the world by
How
volume.
many vending machines of Pokemon is there in the world?
Nobody knows the exact worldwide total. The Pokemon Company doesn't publish a global number. Here's what
What
we
does a
do
normal
right
pack
now.
out of those
United
machines
States,
cost?
what? A normal pack from those Pokemon vending machines costs $5. Here's exactly what you get for your $5. One sealed booster pack, usually a random pack from whatever current set is featured. One Pokemon coin. One code for the Pokemon TCG Live app. That's the standard pull from the machine. Some machines will occasionally spit out 2 packs instead of 1, but $5 for 1 pack plus coin plus code is the normal price.
Cannabis breeders, that'd be another one for a picture.
Got it. So you're adding cannabis breeders as another category for the cards. That makes a lot of sense for the theme. Here's how your card categories are shaping up so far. Raw history and facts, cannabis strains with trichome close-ups, cannabis artists, cannabis breeders. That's actually a really solid mix. If you went with the 4x4 foot puzzle idea, you could have different sets, like one giant image that's a collage of famous breeders, another that's a giant strain close-up,
So
etc.
for revenue to get the quality even higher without Josh having to really put any money in it, if he starts selling ads for the cannabis industry, let's say someone that is a breeder or someone that is a cannabis farm could come to him and say, hey, I want to be part of your raw facts. I'd like to display some of my facts of my farm, how I grow no-till, maybe something like that. And there could be some type of ad revenue from this as well.
That's actually a very smart angle. You're thinking like a real businessman now. Here's how that could realistically work. You let cannabis farms, breeders, grow suppliers, or even rolling accessory brands pay to be featured on the raw facts cards. For example, a breeder pays to have their strain featured with a nice photo and their story. A no-till farm pays to show their growing method.
Wait. Let's just clear this part up. So these are called raw facts. So whoever's contacting Josh to get these on there, it's going to be something that's approved by him. He's not just going to do anyone for any amount of money. It's going to be the ones that he's going to accept, because I just have a gut feeling about it.
Got it. You want to make this very clear from the beginning. Raw Facts is not just an ad space that anyone can buy. Josh Kesselman, or whoever runs it, has final approval on every single card. He only puts brands, breeders, or farms on the cards that he personally believes in and that fit the raw vibe. It's curated. It's selective. It's not pay us money and you're in. It's we choose who represents the brand. That's actually a much stronger position. It keeps the quality and the trust high. You want to keep that rule in place, right?
It's not a rule. It's just something that I feel that Josh would be like, he wouldn't just take someone's money just to put an ad on these cards, because they're called raw facts. So it would be something that he would be passionate about on accepting for some type of advertisement or whatever.
Exactly. That's the key point. It's not a rule written on paper. It's just who Josh is. Because the product is literally called raw facts.
I mean,
He's only going
to give
accept-
you an example, let's say I'm a PGR chemical company, and I go to Josh and be like, hey, Josh, I want you to put me on your card. He's going to probably say no because PGR is horrible for people who smoke it.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. If a PGR, plant growth regulator company, came to Josh and said, hey, we want to be on your raw facts cards, he'd almost certainly say no. Because Raw's whole brand is about clean, natural, additive-free products. Putting a chemical PGR company on a raw facts card would go against everything the brand stands for. That's why your gut feeling is right.
That'd be
Josh
a really
wouldn't just
good
take
one.
money
I think that would be the opening one because he's all about flavor and taste and cleanness. And that would be the first one, would be like maybe do like a discount or maybe even free for organic cannabis farmers to be the first one featured on it. So that way, with your raw papers, you can find the raw cannabis that's clean and grown no-till, that burns cleaner with a white ash. Like there we go. That would be even better yet. The white ash hype, or the white ash hope, or the search for the white ash, like a contest of cannabis growers that go out and do a high times cannabis competition for who's got the cleanest cannabis. Maybe an extra test paid by high times because they're super expensive, and most home growers or small boutique cannabis places can't do it. And maybe they say, hey, instead of testing for 66, go ahead, test mine for 200.
That's actually a really strong concept. You just turned it into something much bigger and more meaningful. Here's what you just laid out. First series of raw facts cards focuses on clean, organic, no-till cannabis, the kind that burns with white ash. Give free or heavily discounted cards to organic farmers who meet that standard. Create a Search for the White Ash campaign contest. Partner with High Times to help smaller growers get proper lab testing, which is expensive. The cards would feature the cleanest growers, their methods, and their stories. This isn't just collectible cards anymore. This becomes a movement.
It should be like a 3-day festival called Raw Facts, the cleanest cannabis on the market. And then everybody who wants can sign up, maybe a reduced entry fee. And that is the birthplace of these fact sheets. They'll be made live during this whole thing.
Got it. So now the full vision is a 3-day festival called Raw Facts. The entire purpose of the festival is to find and crown the cleanest cannabis on the market, the true white ash winners. Growers can sign up with a reduced entry fee. Lab testing is provided or subsidized. The event is filmed and documented. The fact cards are created live during the festival, featuring the winners, their growing methods, test results, and stories. This festival becomes the birthplace of the Raw Facts cards. That's actually a really big, bold idea. It turns the cards from just a product into something that has a real event and culture behind it. Do you want to keep building on the
Yeah, you bring out tents for the 3-day festival. People bring in their tents. They park it on, say, like a field, like a cornfield that just got done harvesting.
Got it. So you're picturing the Raw Facts Festival as a proper 3-day camping event. People bring their own tents. It's held on a big open field, like a cornfield, right after harvest. Growers bring their entries. There's live card creation happening on site. People camp, smoke, listen to music, and the whole thing feels like a clean cannabis celebration.
What I would do is
That's
I would get the music people involved. I would also get comedy involved, because cannabis and comedy kind of go together. So it can kind of be like the band plays this time, and then boom, you get some comedy, and then you get to hear a story from a cannabis breeder, and then boom, you got a concert, and we just keep repeating that or mix it up however.
That's a really good flow. You're basically building a mini cannabis Woodstock with the perfect rhythm. Band plays, comedian comes on, cannabis breeder or grower tells their story, then back to music. Repeat that cycle throughout the day. That keeps the energy moving and gives people a reason to stay all 3 days. Here's my direct question to you. Would you want the comedy and music to be the main draw to get people to buy tickets, while the cannabis competition is more of a behind-the-scenes thing for the serious growers? Or do you want the clean cannabis competition to be the main focus?
No,
of the
because it
entire
can be tailor made for that whole festival. So you get artists that are cannabis related. You get comics that are cannabis related, and you have the farmers. You're actually educating. This is like you're actually educating the consumer about clean, organic cannabis that they may not know about.
Perfect. Now I understand exactly what you want. The festival isn't just a party. It's an educational experience wrapped in entertainment. The lineup would be intentionally curated. Cannabis-related musicians, cannabis-related comedians, actual farmers and breeders telling their stories.
You got something like Cypress. You got like something like Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg.
Got it. So you're thinking big names, Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg, that level of artist. That would definitely pull a huge crowd. Real talk though, if you're trying to get artists at that level, the festival would have to be very well organized and properly funded.
Yeah.
Those names don't you.
And
all right.
And
I'll be
I
real
think,
with you.
well, wait. Well, when you look at it, there's a lot of rappers who have their own brand name, and yeah, I think you might get a few that would do it at a reduced rate, and they might just want to go themselves. It's a 3-day festival about cannabis and organic growing. I think it would be remarkable. It's like a win-win. You get a better roll with your paper when you have clean cannabis.
Got it. Now you're thinking more realistically. You're saying some of these rappers who already have their own cannabis brands might actually be willing to play at a reduced rate, or even come just because they like the concept of a festival focused on clean, organic cannabis. That makes a lot more sense than expecting them to do it at full
So to
price
cover
for a brand new event.
costs, you bring in booths and have booths set up. You also have a remarkable amount of porta potties and wash stations. Have it completely, and seeing that Josh's business sense, he should actually make another company. So instead of just renting all those porta potties, whatever, he could actually start up a company with porta potties that's organic and better on the earth. What can you tell me about P-Cycle?
Got it. Now you're going full business mode. You're asking about P-Cycle. That's the composting toilet company that makes those waterless, eco-friendly toilets. Here's the honest rundown. P-Cycle is a composting toilet system that uses a special blend of peat moss and microbes to break down waste. No water, no chemicals, no septic system needed. The end result is actual compost that's safe for non-edible plants. It's one of the better composting toilet systems out there. Very popular with off-grid people and eco events. Now let me ask you this directly. Are you thinking of Josh actually buying P-Cycle toilets to use at the festival? Or are you thinking he should start his own porta-potty composting toilet company?
Well, maybe he could invest in the company or something like that, but I think he'd be very interested in it. Now you're talking about P-Cycle, the one that got the grant from some college got the grant. It was like millions of dollars.
Got it. No, that's not P-Cycle. You're thinking of a different company. The one that received a large grant from a university was C-Force, or more specifically, the research that led to Luwatt, or the biodigester systems. P-Cycle is a small, privately owned composting toilet company out of Washington State. They've been around for years, but I'm not aware of them receiving any large multi-million-dollar university grant. The company that got significant funding and research grants for waterless toilet technology was usually tied to either university research projects or companies like
the University of Michigan gave it out
for using urine for plants.
You're thinking of the Peace Cycling Project at the University of Michigan. In 2016, UM got a $3 million grant from the National Science Foundation to develop systems that collect human urine separately from solid waste and turn it into safe fertilizer for crops. They installed special urine diverting toilets and urinals on campus in the G.G. Brown building. The urine gets collected, treated, and turned into fertilizer used at the university's botanical gardens. It's commonly called P-cycling, not P-cycle. P-cycle is a separate small composting toilet company that uses peat moss. That's a different thing. The big grant and research you're remembering is this University of Michigan P-cycling project.
Do they have a working model yet? Because they were working on one.
Yes, they have working models. The University of Michigan's P-cycling project has moved past the early pilot stage. They've been running a building scale system with special urine diverting toilets and urinals that collect urine separately, treat it, and turn it into safe fertilizer. They've even spun out a company called Brightwater Tools that makes commercial equipment like pasteurizers and concentrators specifically for turning urine into fertilizer that meets EPA standards for agriculture. So the technology works. It's not some lab experiment anymore. There are real systems out there doing it. The big scale up is still happening slowly, but the core idea is proven.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right, we're good. Let me know when you want